In this video, we will explore Hölder's inequality in Euclidean space. For vectors in Rn, this inequality provides a fundamental bound on the magnitude of their inner product. The formula states that the sum of the absolute values of the products a sub k times b sub k is less than or equal to the product of the sums of their powers, raised to the reciprocal of the exponents. Here, p and q are conjugate exponents. This means that 1 over p plus 1 over q equals 1, with p being strictly greater than 1. To prove this theorem, we will use a few algebraic relations derived from this condition. Notice that q equals p over p minus 1, which implies that q times p minus 1 equals p. Now, let's move to the proof strategy. First, we note the homogeneity property. The inequality is homogeneous, meaning that scaling the vectors by a constant factor scales both sides of the inequality equally. Because of this property, we can simplify our task. Without loss of generality, we assume the vectors are normalized. This means we set the sum of the absolute values of a sub k to the power of p equal to 1. And similarly for b sub k. Under this assumption, our goal simplifies significantly. It suffices to prove that the sum of the absolute products is less than or equal to 1. To prove this reduced inequality, we turn to a geometric argument known as Young's inequality. Consider the first quadrant of the coordinate plane. We plot the curve y equals x to the power of p minus 1. Because p is greater than 1, the exponent is positive, and the curve passes through the origin. We can also express x in terms of y using the inverse function, x equals y to the power of q minus 1. Now, take two arbitrary positive numbers, a and b. These define a rectangle with vertices at the origin and the point a, b. Let's look at the areas defined by the curve. S1 is the area under the curve from 0 to a. Calculating the integral, this equals a to the power of p divided by p. S2 is the area to the left of the curve, from 0 to b. Integrating with respect to y gives b to the power of q divided by q. Visually, notice the relationship between the rectangle and these areas. The sum of the red area S1 and the green area S2 completely covers the rectangle formed by a and b. This leads us to Young's inequality. A times b is less than or equal to a to the power of p over p plus b to the power of q over q. Now, let's apply this geometric insight to our vector problem. We substitute the normalized components, absolute value of a sub k and absolute value of b sub k, into Young's inequality, and sum over all k from 1 to n. The left side becomes the sum we want to bound. On the right side, using the linearity of summation, we separate the terms. We factor out 1 over p and 1 over q. Recall our normalization condition. The sum of a sub k to the power of p is 1, and the sum of b sub k to the power of q is also 1. Substituting these values back in, we get 1 over p times 1 plus 1 over q times 1. Since p and q are conjugate exponents, their reciprocals sum to 1. Thus, we have proved that the sum of the products is less than or equal to 1. This confirms the inequality for the normalized case, and by homogeneity, for all vectors. In conclusion, Hölder's inequality bounds the inner product of two vectors by the product of their LP and LQ norms. This result is a cornerstone of functional analysis and generalizes the famous Cauchy-Schwarz inequality, which corresponds to the case where P and Q both equal 2.